All right, we are back, ready to go here off of a win. So, guys, welcome back to Fight on Montana. We are your Grizz podcast here. There are a lot of them out there, but we're glad you chose this one to listen to this one. So, make sure you rate, review, subscribe to the podcast wherever you get us at, and also you can get on us on YouTube as well at the FCS Fans Nation YouTube channel as well. So, and then also if you guys want to chat with us, say how horrible we are. There's a lot of people, a lot of cat fans that do that too. But get us on our Facebook or Twitter or Instagram at Fight on Montana, and then you can find us probably on our personal ones as well. So
yeah, but always love chatting with Grizz fans and talking Grizz football. So
exactly. But before we get into it, guys, we've got some things that we need to get into.
There's a lot going on last week.
It's homecoming. Yeah, homecoming weekend. It was a busy one. So soccer had a good weekend this weekend, and I had it and then it lost it. There we go. They beat Idaho 2-1, which Idaho is looking pretty good this year. And then they tied against Eastern Washington 1-1 on Sunday. So
that's the one thing about soccer that it's like tie. I mean, even hockey they're like, nope, we're gonna go overtime.
Exactly.
But I guess it's a lot harder in soccer. It could last forever.
Yeah. So, well, you could do like penalty
unless you just penalty shots like they do in hockey or something.
Yeah, exactly. So they play Friday in Sacramento, California at 3 p.m. So you can get that on ESPN Plus, unless you're in Sacramento. So, and then they play Sunday in Missoula at noon on ESPN Plus.
Sunday.
Exactly. So that would be a pretty good. So Portland State, they're playing at home. So they've got 2 this week and they've got 2 next week.
And that's it then, right?
That's it.
There's not much season left there.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
No. You've got they're done by October. And then the first weekend of November, they're in Big Sky Conference Championship. So
which is in Missoula.
So that's gonna be awesome.
So maybe it'll be nice and cold,
Oh, I know, right?
There's some California teams coming up, or
Well, and just to look at, I wish they had the standings on the web page.
They don't.
Yes, and I said web page. That's how old I am.
I think that we're in first.
I believe we are.
After Idaho win, even with the tie at the Eastern, I believe that we're in first place right now. Is what I thought I'd heard from Haslam or something. When I was listening to the radio.
Yeah. So Montana is first. Sorry, I was looking it up real quick. I know Montana is first and Idaho is second.
We got the W. Nice.
Yeah, so that's always a good thing. Come on, let's go.
And the Kitties don't have a soccer team.
No, they don't. They don't play soccer.
They play rodeo instead.
Yeah. So Montana is 3-0 or 3-0-1. Idaho is 3-1-1. Sacramento State is 2-2-1. And then Portland State's 1-1-3. Wait a minute, why are they ahead of? That's wrong, because they have Northern Arizona below Portland State, and Portland State has 2 wins and 2 losses.
Interesting.
That's way.
NAU's doing. Yeah.
I wonder if they get if it's a point system.
It might be,
and they get one point for a tie.
I think you do, just like in hockey.
Yeah,
you get 2 points if you win, a point if you tie, and then nothing if you lose.
Because it doesn't have anything of the points on here. It just says their Big Sky record and overall record. So
I bet it is a point system, a lot like hockey.
Yeah.
Is,
so well, and it looks like they're getting some of the teams that are in the upper echelon of the Big Sky. So it'll be really important for this weekend at Sac State and then home against Portland State. So
that'll be a big game against Sac.
Yeah, definitely. Going into volleyball, they beat Idaho on Thursday, 3-0.
Both of them took the Vandals down. That's great.
Yep. And then they lost to Eastern Washington on Saturday, 0-3.
Dang.
So they are struggling this year in conference.
It must be a little bit of rebuilding year. I'm wondering.
It is. They've got a lot of freshmen playing, I believe. So 1-5 in the conference, but you've got, probably the important games coming up here in the next couple of weeks, guys. They've got Northern Arizona, October 17th in Flagstaff. You got Northern Colorado on the 19th in Greeley, and then you've got the Kitties coming to Dahlberg Arena on the 25th. So
19th of the weekend. Gotcha. I was hoping that was when you said in Northern Colorado. I was like, "Ooh, is that the same as if they were playing down when the guys were playing football?" I was like, "Man, I'd go watch both of them." But it's 2 different weekends. So
no, that's the 9th. Well, what is today?
Today's the 14th, 19th this weekend. So the 26th is when the football when the boys are playing.
Oh yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, 26 because we got bye this week. So.
Stupid bye weeks. I'm so confused. I know it's good for the team, but man, it screws me up. Softball played this weekend in their exhibition games. They beat Carroll 6-5, and then they beat Providence 16-3.
16?
16-3.
Wow.
So they will play Sunday. They'll play in Billings, and then they'll play
MSU Northern.
No, they'll play MSU Billings, and then they'll play North Idaho that next week at Missoula.
Really?
So, yeah. So that'll be that's a short, condensed. I think they do kind of like the exhibition games a couple of them in the fall, and then they have their real season in the spring.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, let's get into some really important stuff that I think the Alumni Association was putting out this week as well.
Yeah. So Leanne from the Alumni Association hit us up because we have a football game, not this weekend, but the weekend after. And with that game, the Alumni Association is going to be sponsoring a tailgate party down at Northern Colorado in Greeley. The reason they hit us up is because you need to RSVP by this Friday, the 18th. So I'm just going to read through this. So it says, join us in Greeley for a tailgate at the University of Northern Colorado before the Grizz take on the Bears. The tailgate will be from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturday, October 26th I'm going to just murder this. Michener Library Lawn. And there is a map if you go on the app to see where that's at. So the cost for this is $35 per adult and $15 per youth. And youth ages range from 5 to 20. So what do you get with your money? The tailgate registration includes a lunch buffet, water and soda, drink tickets good for beer or wine, cash bar for additional drinks, game day giveaways such as pom-poms, stickers, and etc. like that, and a dedicated space to gather with Grizzly fans. The only kicker, like I said, is you got to RSVP by Friday, October 18th. Registration after the RSVP deadline can happen as well, but then the price goes up to $40 per adult and $20 per child. So if you know you're going, you might as well just sign up early and save the $5 per adult or $5 per adult. Now, there is a note in here that if you aren't sure if you're going and you show up down there and you just want to get a pass, well, guess what? You can actually walk up and pay and join the party too. On a side note, me and some alumni are also going to have a second spot set up just for fun as well. So we'll be plenty of Grizz tailgates because last time they had the game down there, I went and there was no official Grizz tailgate, but one kind of just broke out in the parking lot with a bunch of us that were there.
That's awesome.
I think they were like, hey, next time, because there's a lot of alumni that live in the Denver and that whole Northern Colorado area.
Yeah.
They're able to come down. Or like myself, I live up in South Dakota, and I have a few different alumni I know of here. It's only 5 hours for us, so it's a short trip. Head down there and watch the Grizz. So even though it's in 2 weeks, just wanted to remind everybody now that if you register by 18th, save some money. So
and we'll remind you guys next week as well, but save some money, man.
And I'll know more about our little tailgate too, that some of us will have two going at the same time, and I'll know where that's at and all that next week.
Awesome.
So if you're coming to the game, I'd love to see you. If you listen to the pod, come up and say hi. I wish Adam was coming, but he's not going to be able to make it. But I will be down there with my family. and we hope to see everybody. So
that's awesome. That's
cool.
That's awesome. Well, we had a football game this weekend.
We did. Yeah.
Grizz went up on top 31-20.
You won this week, dude.
About time, right?
Yeah, you had 34-26. I had a little higher, 37-33. And first was off 40-33. So you took me down this week. That was good.
I'm just glad Pennington didn't play because that might have been a little bit different of a story without their quarterback being hurt.
Yeah, it could have been. They definitely would have had a different game plan. That's for
sure. Yeah. So let's get into this, guys. So just some of the team stats for you here. Grizz had more first downs, 23 first downs to 16. Total yards for rushing, we were at 158. They were at 175. They were averaging about 4.5. We were about 4.1. We had 3 touchdowns. They didn't have any. Passing yardage, we were at 199. They're at 131. And they were not going to throw the ball. I think the 131, 88 of that was on like one of that trick play.
Yeah, that trick play, it was like 80 something. So realistically, I just did the math. They had about 50 yards passing.
Yeah.
So
I don't know how that happened.
Forward, that counted as a pass.
Yeah,
like a shovel pass. So
and when I saw that, I was like, please get over on the other side. Like, we've got to stop this. And then it's like missed tackle. I'm like, oh Lord.
Since we're talking about it, let's just talk about that.
Oh man.
I saw that formation and I was like, call the timeout. You guys aren't ready. You don't know what you're doing. Call the timeout, because even though we practiced the swinging gate, this was different than what we practice. Like, we do it where it's all the linemen are over here, like 6, and then we have one other guy on the line here. But they had like 3 and 3. You could see there was confusion. Like, it should have been, timeout. Just let's stop, do something, because the guys were out of position. And I wasn't surprised that they took it to the house. It was like, yep, there you go.
Yeah.
Gadget play that we just weren't ready for. So
I was just like, oh no. But yeah, that was, if you took that out, you really stopped them on passing, which was really good. I think that the changes that we were kind of expecting with playing kind of some zone defense on the backside really kind of helped.
There was a lot more zone, and it seemed like we blitzed a lot more too. Like, I haven't got to rewatch the whole game again.
Yeah,
I've made it through like most of the first half, but there's definitely more blitzing going on.
More blitzing, yeah. Yep.
And some of the guys are actually being careful, and like if they there was times when they faked the pass and then ran, where we backed up and got in our zone before we made sure that we weren't getting out of position, it's good to see the guys trying to, not over pursue, if you will.
Exactly. So total yardage, we were at 357. They were at 306. Same, its average is 5.3 for both teams. They had 2 fumbles. They lost 1. We had 1 fumble that we lost and went for a touchdown, which, that's the second week in a row.
So someone texted, I don't know if you texted me this, or I'm on a couple of the text groups, the stuff during the game. Like, that's twice now. 5, like his first 2 plays or like the last 2 series he had, he's fumbled on. So it was the last 2 series.
Oh, and they're consecutive. They weren't
consecutive. Same issue. So and then I've rewatched that play a few times. It wasn't our linemen's fault. They all were engaged in the people they're supposed to block.
Yeah.
They put that number 7, who Marty and Jay absolutely fell in love with during the game.
He was good, dude. Like, that guy was
super sophomore.
Yeah,
but he was damn good. He's a good.
He was good.
Like, the guy was good. He came off the edge on block, which in turn, as a quarterback, you see that it's a hot route. Get it out, and he did muff the snap, but he still double pumped before he got crushed. And so I put that on 5. Is who I put that one on.
Well, and before that, and I think I mentioned this to you, texting, is it was a low snap because a couple plays before that, Klimzak got rolled up on, and so I think he played through it and played the rest of the game, but I think he was kind of still feeling it.
Yeah,
and the next couple of plays, the snaps were off, so I felt bad for him, but.
He definitely battled through it, though. Like,
he did.
Like, he may go out, but the guy's tough. Showed how tough he is. So
yeah.
good thing we're going to this bye this week. Get him some rest.
Well, and hopefully we get I think it's Pamphilov that was hurt because I think Botner. I think, and if I remember right, Botner was the left tackle that filled in for him. I didn't see Pamphilov out there. Did you?
I don't remember. I wasn't looking for him.
Okay, because he was hurt. He was hurt the previous week.
Yeah, I know that like the GFP guys posted him after the game, and he was there. So I think he was there. I don't think he played a lot though.
I don't think so either.
I think they were trying to save him if he's got especially like if you have anybody who's been injured a little bit.
Yeah,
if you have one that can play, you let them play and just try to give them a break.
Well, and on the radio call though, which was interesting, they told everybody that Eli Gilman was hurt, that he was banged up a little bit.
He looked a little banged up.
Yeah,
like, there's a few times when he got up, like you could tell
slowly.
Yeah, slowly, like just like not bad, but like it looked like he was a little dinged up.
I was like, why are they playing him then? Because a couple of the third quarter and the second half, he had a couple of those runs where he was our team. Like some of those runs were some man runs.
I swear he looked healthier in the second half. Like he did, and maybe it's adrenaline, but he did. Now the other one who I think is banged up and hasn't been healthy all year is Bergen.
Yeah,
a few times he gets up and he grabs his hamstring. Like, I don't think he means to, but he does. And it's like kind of massaging it. And it's like, man, I still don't think that has ever gotten to 100%. So, I mean,
no, I don't think so either.
I'm really feeling like this bye week is perfect right now because there's a lot of guys banged up. And if they can get treatment and stuff, that would be really good.
Well, and you saw it too. Like, I don't know if it was the first kickoff or one of the second or the third where he got hit lower on his leg. And they took him out, and then the next kickoff, or that they put Fonts back there.
Oh, was it Fonts back there?
Yeah, and so I don't know. Like with me, I think that he's such a threat. You don't want to lose him, but you don't want to lose him for the rest of the year either. Just put Fonts back there. Put Harris. I would even put Harris. I'd even put Harris.
Harris. Yeah, that's a good point. The way he runs.
Put Harris and Fonts back there on kick returns. And go with that, and then you have Deck on the punt returns.
Harris isn't getting near the touches, and he has that explosive stuff that we saw. So Deck on return, and then Harris and Fonts back there.
Yeah,
at kickoff, because I mean
the Oxnard connection.
At least they may
right.
The Oxnard connection, I like that.
Yeah,
they could make shirts like that.
That's right.
But like then teams would kick to us. Like we wouldn't get so many squibs and and then like the truth behind it is like if Bergen's hurt at all, I think we need him more on offense.
Yeah.
For his catching ability and stuff. But
well, and he just opens it up for more wide receivers. And just save them that we can come back to that one in the playoffs if we really need it.
Yeah.
But kind of save them and kind of get them a little bit better healing up.
Yeah. So. Well, that's like I said, this bye week's definitely going to help all those guys.
Yeah. Well, and it's still warm too. So get them healthy before it starts getting cold.
Yeah, that's true. And then speaking of that bye week, just about getting healthy, I'll let people know this. Like, so they didn't have practice on Monday. They got a rest day, which is good. They are going to have them practice Tuesday, Wednesday, no practice Thursday, Friday, and then they get to practice Saturday, which is good.
That's good.
And then Saturday is the Rookie Bowl. Usually, I think they're doing that. I don't know if they announced it, but usually they let both scout teams play against each other.
That'd be so cool if they put that on TV.
Oh yeah, just to see.
Oh man,
how well these freshmen are doing and stuff that are just redshirting and that'd be.
You don't even have to put it on ESPN Plus. You could just put it on like
Grizz.com. Just put it on Grizz.com.
Yeah,
Or even if you're not going to do it, have Riley call it real quick. How cool would that be?
That would be cool on the radio.
Have Riley and Greg call it.
That would be so cool.
Yeah. Sorry, got off topic there.
Yeah. This is why we should be in the communications department.
Right.
We're giving them some free stuff here.
Yeah. Exactly.
Punting, we did okay. 41.5 was our average. They had 47.7.
Yeah, he had a couple of
shanks.
One shanky caught him. You know what it seems to me too, like when they have him do that rugby style, he doesn't kick it well.
No, he
Like,
doesn't.
it's like, man, what? Every time he's done that, he's shanked it. It seems like to me.
Yeah,
So,
and he does a nice job just having some loft under, some air under it too. Just let
yeah,
him punt the
just let him punt
regular
the ball.
way.
That's what I think. But
So,
yeah,
going back, let's see here, kickoffs. Um, we did okay with returns a little bit. They were still average about 18.8, that's way lower than
it
what we've been.
it looked improved. I thought
Yeah.
it
Yep.
definitely looked like they were keeping their lanes better, and
Yep.
so no, people weren't falling over the top of each other.
No. And then kickoffs, it was interesting because the first one, I thought it was Grant Glasgow, and I could be
Oh,
totally wrong.
no, you're right. It was.
Okay.
So, like,
And
Marty and them
then
said that in the thing, they're like, "Oh, Glasgow's out this week." It was Glasgow that kicked the first one,
yeah,
and then the
but
Kent State guy came in after that.
Joe Silver, yeah.
Yeah,
Because right when they said that, I was like, no, that was
I
Glasgow.
went it's 97. It was like,
Yeah.
that's Glasgow. So I don't know if he hurt his shoulder on that play
Huh.
or something, and Rainey or not Rainey, who was on the sideline? Kyle Hansen
Kyle.
said something from the sidelines to those guys, but he was the first one that kicked the ball. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was really weird. I was just like, am I losing my mind? I really saw that number.
No,
But
you
I'm glad
did.
that you saw that too. Okay.
I saw it too. That was the first thing I saw. Like when I was rewatching like I said, I've only gotten through most of the first half.
Yeah.
I went, wait a minute, that's Glasgow.
Yeah.
I was like, they didn't have that right. Although Jay loves to call the wrong person all the time. Oh, that's Bergen. Oh no, that's White that time. I don't know. It's like, man, I don't know what you're.
He always gets Bergen, and I think it's White because
Yeah,
it's 6 and 9. It's like, oh, sorry, that's
5.
those are hard. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
like what? That's not a hard number. Like 5 and 6 don't even look like each other. 6 and 9, dude. If you flip them, if you have dyslexia.
He rides the struggle bus during the.
Oh man.
Oh, gosh.
Time of possession, guys, 31-30 for Grizz, 28-30 for the Lumberjacks.
Pretty even.
Yeah, pretty even. 6 of 12 for the Grizz for third down, 3 of 13. We did a good job this game of making sure it was longer yardage on third down, which we had mentioned in the last pod that you want them to have that 3rd and 5 or 3rd and longer than that because they just don't do well. Yeah. Especially with, them not wanting to throw the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And you could tell they did not trust him throwing the ball. They're 3rd string, 4th string, whatever quarterback.
3rd string. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they're 1 for 3. We're 0 of 1. We are really good in the red zone. 5 for 5.
Yeah.
They were 2 for 2. We had 1 sack, which is crazy. Our sack numbers are way down this year.
They are.
Way down. I remember we said we were going to be over. Didn't we say we were going to be over like 20 something?
Yeah, I was wrong.
We were both wrong.
Wilson. Yeah, Wilson's been hurt, and then I mean, I feel like we're going to start seeing more because it feels like we're like, as I was watching the defensive front, even though we're doing 3-3-5, there was a lot of times we were lined up in a 4-man front with Wilson in a 2-point or Terrell on a 2-point.
Yeah.
Running a 4-man front almost, so and blitzing and stuff, and that's what we need to do. We got to get pressure because pressure on the quarterback and stuff is going to help our secondary out, and it did.
Yes, it did.
Gradney had a much better game and was staying with his guys, even though they didn't throw it a lot. Like he was doing a much better job, and I saw Loud out there.
Loud was doing an amazing. Loud literally saved a couple touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
On that 4th and goal, and you got to give it to the north end zone. They saved a touchdown too. 4th and like inches, and I remember that big guy. Oh my gosh, the 44 that.
Oh yeah,
kind of bounced. He kind of got stopped, and everyone thought it was dead, and then he kind of rolled off.
The guy's thick.
Yeah, he got hit by 2 people. And then he was like going down, and Loud saw him and like basically threw his whole body at him and basically made him like go over just in time to not to cross the plane.
Yeah, that it was right like the 6-inch line. Like that kid was thick. Like he was. I was like, at first I thought I was like, Did they throw a jerk like a 44 on a lineman real quick? Like, they've done that. Like, throw the different jersey on and go in. I've seen him.
I think it was defensive line.
Yeah, like that guy's
Yeah.
thick.
I loved how Marty was like,
Perry.
he probably lifts a lot with his legs, and also he probably benches a lot too. I was just like, what in the world?
Marty's probably trying to make sure he doesn't say something he's not supposed to.
Yeah. Didn't want to say tits again.
Yeah, exactly. Some kind of, it's like,
oh my god.
I'm sure he's been told, watch yourself.
Yeah.
After that comment, but
oh man. Eli, so let's go into some of the just individual guys.
Sure.
16 of 27 for 199, 1 touchdown, 1 sack. He played an okay. The first half was a little sketchy. Second half, he played a little bit better.
Yeah, he had some nice balls. Like there was a couple. I was like, damn, that was a dime. But
yeah, and he does. It just bothers me because sometimes I'm like, why are you throwing it there? It's double coverage. You're looking right at the guy. Like when he lines up, you know who he's going to go to, because like sometimes he'll just stare down the wide receiver. And then there's sometimes where it's like, holy cow, that was a beautiful pass.
Yeah.
It's just not consistent.
Yeah. Right.
And I know you guys are going to say I'm an IOT fan, but I just think that there's going to be a time where we play a way tougher defense. And this defense was tough.
It was a good defense.
It was a good defense, but it's not going to be.
This isn't North Dakota State or South.
It's not North Dakota State. It's not SDSU. It's not even the neighbors. And there's going to be a time where he's going to be just done, right? I think there's going to be a lot more kinks to the armor where he doesn't, I thought like he ran a little bit more than what I thought, but he does not have the sense in the pocket.
Right.
And you can see that by the last 2 weeks of him getting hit and fumbling, that he does not have that sense in the pocket. And what he has the ability and the athleticism to run. And that's why I just think Ayat would just be a little bit better, because he has that pocket presence and he's a good athlete and he's quick. And there were so many times where they loaded the box with 7-8 guys and Fife could have just went in that game.
Yeah, no, I agree. And we did get a few of those at the end, like that one.
Yeah.
When the whole defense went for Osmo and Fife just ran it in. It was like, I mean, he faked everybody out.
Oh yeah.
That was good. And I mean, I think he has that, he runs more like Cliff is what it reminds me of. Where Ayat runs much more like elusive. And like you said, he has that sixth sense to me where he can sense that guy coming and duck out of the way and stuff, where Fife just eats it. It's like, oh man, you're gonna get hurt doing that, and then and two, you're fumbling. That's twice now. It's like, like I really thought when he fumbled and they scored, I was like, here comes Ayat. Like I thought that. Like it surprised me. Like Bobby didn't. He went and put him back out there, and so I wanted Ayat because I was like, man, I still think his ceiling is higher, but I was glad that they let him keep going. Like. You did see by letting him go, I did see progression and him get better throughout the game.
Yeah.
And that's
why do they do that though? Because like the last couple of games or in the beginning of this year, it was a 2-quarterback system, right?
Yeah. And they still claim it is, but
and they would go back and forth and they wouldn't. And then this is like the last couple of weeks. I know that Ayat's been hurt last week. But they stayed with Fife. They did not go, and it's like, why would you do that with one quarterback but not with the other?
Yeah, I don't understand. And here's the thing, and I know we're not going to get into UNC this week, but if here's my thought. I've been thinking about this. UNC and then Cal Poly.
Yeah.
And what worries me about those two games with lesser opponents is that if we do get ahead or they do, we're going to see both of them. You know, and then like let's say you put Ayat and he lights it up, then are you back to him? You know, it's like I worry about that inconsistency.
Yeah.
You know, and so I don't know. I worry about these next two games. Not that like I feel like we could. I mean, you can lose to anybody, but I worry about they're gonna like give us overconfidence in a way, or I worry about that a little bit. But
yeah,
at the same time, like I hope we just blow these teams out and do get a little overconfidence, because we've seen that with other teams like Idaho and the Cats where they've done that, and then they just keep rolling. So I'm hoping that's just what happens. But I get why they're leaving Fife in too a little bit. I mean, like our offense looks good. He is hitting guys. I mean, he's found his guy. I think Keelan White's his guy. Like Keelan was playing again, and they have seemed to make this connection now. I mean, he's getting the ball to other guys too, but it seems like him and Keelan, like if there's a go-to guy for him, it's White. Like that's the guy for Fife, I think. So,
but the one thing is that he looks for him so much that I think he
misses other people. Like
he misses so many wide open guys. It kind of it worries me on that effect.
But at the same time, this is a good problem that we have. We have two good quarterbacks rather than just like because we've had years past where it's like, oh my God, if this guy gets hurt, we're screwed. We've seen that too, where it's like the next guy just doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
In this case, if something did happen to Fife, I'm not worried because I feel like I could handle it just fine.
Yeah, I think so too.
You and I both agree.
Yeah.
That we feel like Ayat should be the guy playing. I'm glad we got Fife. He's playing well, but I still think Ayat has the higher ceiling.
And it's just like with me, like we don't develop quarterbacks, and we haven't for forever, probably since Johnson, and I think it's like 2011. And so if we want to keep on doing that, then we're just going to be recruiting a quarterback coming here and
then it's just transfer portal.
Exactly.
That's what I want to be. Like that's
no.
Like we have that like diamond right there.
Yeah.
Go polish it and make it,
Well, and then if you develop your quarterback, then you can use that transfer portal scholarship maybe for some defense.
Right.
Maybe for another guy that you could fill in with, what you want to do. But it's going to be an interesting to see what happens. I think it's crazy. I think we'll talk about it later. Weber State losing to Northern Colorado at home, which is just nuts.
I think. Well, let's just talk about it right now. I had no idea. I wasn't paying attention to it. All of a sudden, I started getting texts like from you and a few other people. Like, what?
Yeah.
What? And so it just tells you. It shows you this. Like, And I felt like this last week. Weber came in like we were their damn Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
They played everything they had, and it's like they left everything on the field. And then they went to Northern Colorado like,
we got this.
Too high. Oh my God, we beat the Grizz. Now we can, and then just didn't even weren't ready for them. And Northern Colorado, I think two teams that scare the heck out of me. A team that's undefeated.
Yep.
Or a team that hasn't won.
It's
hard to lose all your games, and so they're due for one. And well, guess what?
Well, and this Northern Colorado team is a lot better than people look at their schedule.
Oh yeah,
they've got an actual coach that actually is a good coach too. So with Ed Lamb, but wow, sorry, my phone just went off.
That's all right. There was a fire alarm or something.
I know. Goodness gracious, that was really loud. Goodness, that was a vibrate too. That wasn't even like a. Anyways. Rushing yards, guys. Eli Gilman was the top leading rusher there, 14 carries, 76 yards. And then Osimo had one more carry for 74 yards. Look at that. This is an amazing stat. 5 carries, -1 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Is that 5?
Yes.
Yeah.
He had a negative average, but he had 3 touchdowns.
He's eating them sacks, man. It's like,
that is the funniest.
And that's the thing I want people to
average.
I want people to realize, it's not our offensive line that's not blocking well for them.
No,
it's there's something that they've seen on film. Our quarterback isn't. If you have someone blitzing off like a corner blitzing or a DB blitzing off the edge, you need to see that. Like out of your corner eye and do a hot route, get rid of it quick, or hand the ball off. There's a lot of times these are RPOs and he's holding it, and then boom, he's getting just crushed. He's not seeing it. I'm glad he's keeping his eyes downfield, but man, when you're doing that, you still got to try to notice it. And so the fact that it's worked now twice for Weber and for NAU, we're going to keep seeing that. And so whether maybe it's just we can't go empty and we got to keep Gilman or Osmo back there to chip somebody or something. I don't know, but usually that's what teams will do. Is if they think one's coming, you bring your running back there, chip him, and then you can just dump it over the top of them, and they're off the races. So, we got to watch out for that. But our offensive line's doing a good job, I think, of pass blocking and run blocking, obviously.
I think so, too. I think they've gotten better throughout the year. So, receiving yardage, 4 receptions for Sawyer Recanelli, 65 yards. He had his best game this year.
There was one pass 5 through to him that was just like in the first, man. I was like, boo, that was a pro throw. That was a damn good throw. Like that was spot on. So,
and then the Aaron Fonts, his 1 reception he hurdled that guy. It was just amazing.
It's always interesting with Fonts. Like he'll drop one, but then he'll make. It's like he's got to drop one to like make himself like pissed off, and then he makes like amazing plays and stuff. It's like,
and he's probably the most athletic wide receiver that we have.
He's super.
He has so much potential that like he just every game I'm like, okay, is he gonna go off? Like I'm just waiting for him to just like go off and hit that stride. Interesting. So we had Riley Wilson as our tackler leader, 9 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 1 sack, and then 8 with Jackson. Jackson did a good job tackling this game. He was more aggressive in the second half, and that's why I'm like he is like he just reminds me of a safety, a head hunting safety in a cornerback position, and then Ryder Meyer had 7 and Ryan Terrell had 7 as well. So
Terrell played a lot better, and he was getting back in the zone and stuff, and they were using him on the edge a lot more. I saw Riley playing in middle linebacker at times, a few times, but I think I feel like Riley's starting to lead the defense finally. Like
I think so too.
Emerging, and we need that leader, and I feel like he's emerging as the leader on defense.
And Vaya Kayo had a couple of those plays where if he can just be consistent, man, he was quick and got into the backfield quick.
Just wrap up. Like he's at least hitting the guy, and then someone else is getting him, but it's like it almost surprises himself, I think, when he gets back there so fast. It's like, oh crap.
Yeah.
And there was a few 2 plays, like Terrell almost had one where he was there for the pitch. Yeah, we're so close to a few like breaking
blowing it up,
big plays where it could really glow. And then at the beginning of the game there, we put him at that second 3 and out, and then we dive and hit the damn punter. It was just like, are you kidding me? Like,
which I thought that was kind of a flop. Like seriously, like
he hit the ground and slid, and then the guy just like a good punter. Trip and just flop over, and it's just like, you got to know to hit. And if you hit the ground, roll away from him. Like our players need to realize that. Just get the hell away from him. But that was so unfortunate. It was just like, come on, like the D did what they needed to do. At least they held them to a field goal. Like, we were talking about after the game. I know you weren't as happy with the defense as I was. I was like, I feel like they made progress, but like in the end, they gave up the 1 big touchdown, which was in some weird damn trick play.
Yeah.
Other than that, they only gave up 2 field goals because their touchdown was on that Fife debacle.
Yeah. Well, and I think that I felt going into it, I thought I was going to see a whole lot more different things.
Yeah.
And did they play better? Yeah, they played tremendously better. I feel like if they played that against against Weber, they would have totally won.
Yeah, I think so too.
I would, hands down. But I'm seeing the same mistakes.
There's some mistakes.
Tackling is still atrocious.
The tackling still is bad at times. Like it is. And then there was we talked about this, and I agree with you. You were like, it seemed like they're hesitating to tackle. Yeah. And I think that like some of them are now worried, like they're worried they're going to get juked, and so they're hesitating rather than running through the tackle a few guys.
Yeah.
It's like you can't play scared. You got to play with your hair on fire and go get them. And then but at the same time, realize that you're going to have your guys backing you up too. Like, so if you can grit them and hold, and they started doing some of that more, the gang tackling, we're even holding by the jersey or whatever, just grab something and everybody else is going to come help you out here.
Yep.
And I saw more of that, which is good. So like little improvements is where I'm going.
Yeah. It was a little improvement. It was just with me, I just couldn't I thought I would have saw more, and I think this is going to be I know I have to. I have to get to the point where I'm like, it's not going to be a Grizz defense,
No. So
right? It's not going to be one of those
no,
13,
it's
18
not.
point Grizz defenses. We hope that it is a bend, don't break defense
Yeah.
where we're good enough to get the ball back to our offense. What I'm worried about is you saw our offense struggle in that first half. What happens when we play a better defense
Yeah.
and our offense can't get going like that? Because honestly, we should have beat that team by a whole lot more than what we
Yeah.
did
Well, I
because
mean,
when
like
they're on
that.
their third string quarterback
Well, and
that
that
could
drive
not
to get
throw.
down there and we can't punch it in. We can settle for field goals. It's like,
Yeah.
no. We need to punch that shit in now. Like that
Because
bothers me on the offensive side. I'm like, get it in there.
they were in that game for a little bit,
Yeah.
and we were on the third quarterback, and it just seemed like just the kill nature of just like
Yeah.
putting a team out is not there on defense.
Well, and that I'll give that quarterback, like he was better than I expected. Like
Oh yeah,
I was
yeah,
surprised how well he played. I was like, and then I think it threw us off a little bit, them running that wildcat. Like, I don't think we were
yeah.
expecting that.
No,
I felt like we adjusted too well, but I don't think we were expecting it.
I didn't see that in any NAU film.
Yeah.
I didn't see all their film, but the film that I saw, I didn't see that.
No, I didn't either. So
But they were also running a Pennington as their quarterback, so that was kind of different.
So we're talking about the defense. I just want the Versus app, like they rank everybody and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
In the rankings, they give you a power rank, an offensive rank, and a defensive rank. So right now, North Dakota State, they have as 1 overall for everything. But here's what they have. They have them ranked. They have their power as 1, offense is 3, and defense is 2. Okay. South Dakota State, they have them as power as 2. Their offense is 6, but they have the number 1 defense.
Okay.
Who do you think has the number 1 offense?
Probably us.
We do. They have us as our power overall is 9. Our offense is 1. What do you think our defense is?
Well, what does it go up to? Like 137?
Let me go to the bottom and I'll tell you.
Because it's probably like what? It's probably be like 19.
I think it goes to 130.
Okay. It's probably 19.
19?
Yeah.
I wish. 80.
Yeah. Holy cow.
I know. I was like, oh shit. Like,
wow.
Learn my language, but I was like, oh, so 9 power, total power. Number 1 offense they're giving us, but 80 defense.
Good.
And they have us as 18th in the nation right now. Here's what's wild? Missouri State, who we beat earlier this year, they have them as 16. 10 power, 21 offense, 9 defense.
They're a good team.
So they're not Missouri State, just interesting. They're not ranked in the stats poll, but they are ranked 20th in the coaches poll right now.
Because they can't. Yeah. So they can only be ranked in
Oh, you're right. They can't. Yeah, because they're going FBS. Okay.
Yeah.
So
that's why they can only be in one of the polls.
Okay. That makes sense. I was wondering, I was like, why is that? Because man, yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna be good.
Interesting. So
yeah, it'll be interesting. This week, they've got the marker game, South Dakota State.
And North Dakota State, North Dakota State. That's a big game this weekend there.
Yeah.
So.
Probably for a number 1 or number 2 seed. So
yeah. In fact, I think. Well, I'm sure that our friends down the street are hoping whoever loses that game goes to 3, and so they get to go to 2. But I really think whoever the loser of that game is goes to 2, and the winner's at 1.
A 1,
that's where it's at. So.
I'm sorry, the Cats haven't played anybody.
No, I mean even
the Vandals were horrible. They have a third string quarterback that can't do anything.
And NAU looked really good against the Vandals.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, they still got to play some people.
Yeah.
So I didn't watch. I tried watching some of that damn game. I fell asleep. I went to bed. This is so bad. I can't watch.
It was not a good game. It was not a good game.
Yeah.
So, we win this game by an 11-point margin, right?
I feel like it should have been more. Like
I
agree.
think it should have been more. Yeah. It was like the epitome of like where, like, if you want to say like Bobby Ball, right? Like that's what I felt like it was like trying to be.
Yeah.
Just like, we're gonna run you to death, and then make sure that you make something, make some mistakes. What do we need to get better at?
Yeah.
And it's obvious tackling,
Exactly.
but at a certain point,
I think so.
7 games in,
I felt like on the defense, like they definitely changed a few things up. They're running more zones, and so I think it was working. And so I think they're going to continue to work on that stuff through this week. And then luckily we have some, what I would say are a little lesser opponents. They should be at least the next couple of weeks. So
that's
we
me
can
knocking on wood.
so that we can work on that stuff and just get better, and hone your skills and get people healthy and playing time. On the offense, I mean, things are rolling well there, but there's still a lot of work for Fife. He needs to be able to get more reads and stuff. And so if Fife's our guy, which apparently he is now, even though I don't agree with it.
I don't agree with it. Yeah.
Okay, so he is. So we need to get him being able to look downfield and see those guys that are wide open and not forcing the ball in, because like you get an even better defense and you're forcing the ball, that's pick six. And we don't, because our defense is good, that means our offense can't give up the ball. Like that was one thing I was worried when Fife fumbled it and they run it back for 6. I'm like, Christ, our defense is already struggling. Don't give up points on offense, because so our offense, the last thing they do is give up the ball. They need to protect the ball. Like our runners are doing that better. You can see that they're like Osmo. Really, he's putting both arms on the ball, holding it tight so he can't give it up. And so our offense has to be perfect. They need to just keep getting better and stay that number one, because that's the thing that's going to help our defense out the most. Like letting them stay off the field and just putting up as many points as we can.
Yeah.
So I guess that's where I'm feeling. I'm really hoping too that guys to get healthy. Like I said, like Junior looks like he's still nursing some stuff. You could tell Eli was getting a little banged up, and it's just like, okay, everybody rest. So hopefully they're feeling better.
Question for you. Can you get better at tackling? I know you can.
Yeah, absolutely.
But 7 games in, can you get better? Because like to me, like, you are who you are, and at a certain point, does it get into your head, right?
Yeah, and that's what I thought we saw a little bit with these guys, the way they were breaking down a little bit and almost backing up instead of running through it.
How do you get over that? Do you just tackle and
I think you just tackle some more, and like it's just, you got to just, and that's where I'm hoping. Like, I think playing in a game where all of a sudden you can tackle, you start tackling and you building your confidence up, and so I'm hoping in these next 2 weeks that we can see some of that, where our guys are building their own confidence up by playing someone where maybe they'll be able to run through, and our defense will look all of a sudden like they're a lot better than they are because of who we're playing. So that's another thing too. Like, as we come out of the bye week, well, I'm glad that Weber State lost to him, because that's just great for our coaches.
Better not.
This is what we're talking about. Don't take these guys lightly. You never know what's going to happen. That team beat us, and now that and so like that was probably really good for us that Weber lost to him.
Yeah,
because it's going to wake us up and be like, okay, this isn't just some pushover road game, because it's a road game too.
This is their Super Bowl.
Oh yeah,
beat us on their home field.
Anytime we play somebody, it's like the greatest thing ever is to beat us, because we're the big bad empire, and so we're gonna get their best shot. And so the good thing is we'll probably have more Grizz fans down there at UNC than they have.
Oh, no doubt.
And it gets loud. We're gonna be rowdy and stuff, and so hopefully that will help. And the boys will come down there and give us a nice W, and then on to Cal Poly. So before we have to play the real game.
Yeah,
Davis.
And that's where I don't think, and maybe we will see improvement. I don't think you can actually say that we're improved on defense until you play UC Davis.
No, that's gonna be the true test. So
because we're gonna be playing lesser opponents, and I'm not gonna get fooled and say, oh wow, we're getting better. we're not going to be able to know if we got better until we play UC Davis.
If I see them wrapping up better and driving through tackles, I'll be like, okay, there you go. I'm seeing like if you look at the fundamentals, if those look improved, again, there's slight improvements. But here's where they have Davis ranked right now in that versus. They got him power 17, offense 24, defense 12. So
yeah, their defense is pretty good.
Yeah. So that's going to be our, that's going to be our test.
That's going to be a really big test. Yeah. Well, and here's a question for you again. I'm playing devil's advocate here. Do you rest Gilman and Bergen this week?
Well, yeah, we got to buy.
No, sorry.
I know I'm just being a
Oh, I am so off. Like, oh my gosh. Not this week.
I say you see how they are. Like,
because you'll get to play Fontaine. I'm gonna say his name, Fontaine.
Yeah,
and you could play somebody else,
right? And so I could
Brooks
see
Brooks Davis or Bridges.
Yeah, I think you could play Davis
or Xavier,
Bridges, Xavier. And so if those two guys are dinged up at all, I say rest.
Just sit them.
Yeah, sit them.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
because we have so much talent behind them.
Yeah,
that. You're Rocker Jr. too. Like
exactly.
You play him. We got a lot of guys behind him that you could play.
Yeah.
And so like if after this week going into Northern Colorado, if either one of them aren't 100%, set them down.
That's what I would do.
Let them rest.
Yep.
That's going to be more important especially
down the line.
Down your line to accomplish these goals because we have people that can take care of that still.
Yep.
So I agree with you. I think you do rest them.
I would.
That'll be so. That's going to be really interesting because here's what's going to happen for sure. The 2 deep that comes out for that is going to show all these guys starting.
Yeah.
But we very well could see them make the trip and then not play. So just don't be surprised by that.
Yeah. I would hope that Bobby would actually think about that and do that because.
I wouldn't surprise me if he did. Like I could totally see him doing that. Like because he's always about like that's why we rotate guys so much because we want to keep them healthy. Coming in November and stuff. And so like if guys at all are dinged up, I think you do that. You have to.
Yeah.
For the long run.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Okay. Well, any last thoughts on Northern Arizona?
No, I think it was. I'm just glad that we pulled the W. It was nice to
a little revenge tour.
Right the ship, and then get the revenge on them too from the last year. And I tell you what, though, that they got a good coach over there. Like they're not going anywhere. Like they're going to be. I think they're on the rise for sure. Like they're going to just keep getting better. I think.
Yeah, I think that was a good hire, and I think that he's got them playing hard too. So.
And that number 7, if he wants to transfer to the Grizz, by God, we'd love to have you.
Yeah, I was thinking that too when we were playing. I'm like, man, he would be really good for us, linebacker that quick. Yeah. And he's a sophomore.
Did you like what you saw here? Did you enjoy playing in front of 25,000?
Exactly. You want to play for a winning program?
Come on over.
Oh, man, that would be awesome. That would be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
So. Guys, let's get into some. We usually don't do this, but since it's a bye week, let's kind of go over some of the Big Sky standings. We already know who hasn't lost, so we don't need to talk about them. But UC Davis, they're second, they're 3-0 in the conference, 6-1 overall, and then we're right behind them at 2-1 and 5-2.
Yep.
And then Weber State's right behind us with being 2-1 in the conference. Eastern's right there, 1-1. And then you've got Idaho at 1, and then you've got a lot of teams that are 1-2. You've got Idaho, Idaho State, Northern Arizona, Cal Poly, Portland State, Northern Colorado, all at 1-2. And then you've got Sac State at 0-2.
It's crazy that Sac State's 0-2.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's so nuts.
Wow.
And something does not look right.
Well, NAU beat them too, like not just a little bit. They beat them good. Something's. I feel bad because Andy Thompson, one of my buddies, coach, and I wanted to see him do well unless he's playing us. And something's up down there. I don't get it. Maybe
their offense looks out of whack.
I was like, are they all too focused on trying to get in the Pac-12 or something? It's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a good look. Yeah, I don't know. Something's up. So
yeah,
it'll be interesting. So it's Weber State versus Sac State this weekend. So who's going to show up there this weekend?
Wow.
Like, who would you take?
Who would I take?
So it's Weber at Sac. Yeah.
Where is it at?
I thought we could run through week 8 since we're not playing this. We can just see who you want to. So
are you going to write these down?
Sure, I'll write them down.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll keep track of it.
All
right. So we got Weber at Sac. All right.
It's Weber at Sac.
Yep.
I'm going to say Sac.
Me too. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. The next game is Davis at Eastern.
Oh, that's going to be a good game. I think Davis.
Yep, I'm on the same page. Davis. Okay. This one's not even funny. So Cal Poly at Idaho.
That's Idaho.
Idaho's going to win that one.
Yeah.
After last weekend.
Yep.
We may just be chalk here. Then you got MSU at Portland State.
I want to say Portland State, but it's going to be the neighbors.
Okay, I'm going to take Portland State.
Are you really?
Yeah.
No way.
I'm taking Portland State.
No way. You really think
game? They think they're the greatest ever, and Barney just shows up, and the fighting Barney and Robbie Houks just take it. I'm taking Portland State.
I love it. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
I'm going to be just watching the thing go, come on. And then the last game, Idaho State versus Northern Arizona.
Northern Arizona back 3 touchdowns.
At NAU. I agree.
Here's
the wild thing.
They're going to have their quarterback back.
Oh, yeah. You notice who I didn't call out? Northern Colorado. They also have a bye this week. We both have byes.
Wow.
That doesn't happen very often. So we both have byes going after the bye. So I was like, I was like, where are they? Yeah, they're not playing either. So we both have byes this week going into play each other.
Well, and I'm looking at the schedule for the following week.
Yeah.
And it is everybody else in the whole conference. There's 3 games next.
Oh, yeah. There's only 3 games. Yeah. So it's us at Northern Colorado, Sac State at
Idaho State,
Eastern Washington, Idaho. Yeah. Everybody else has their bye. That's wild.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is wild.
Huh. That's interesting. I really think that there's going to be some good games on those, like the UC Davis Eastern Washington game. I want to.
That one could be. It's at 5 p.m. and it's on their red field, and Eastern, they're just so up and down. You just don't know. They're on that. I mean, because of their losses, they're kind of on that. Who can we screw their season up?
Exactly.
Sort of thing. So.
And then I would love. I don't think it's going to happen. I would love to see Portland State beat the neighbors.
How cool would that? So here's the thing: the neighbors just beat the piss out of Idaho. There's being realistic. Portland State's probably not going to beat Montana State, but I think it could be really close. There's
really
State's one of those teams, man, that sometimes just they just about beat Davis their weekend. They should have.
Yeah, but they don't have any set type of defense though.
But
the neighbors are just going to run it down their throat. At their high school stadium.
What the heck? Let me just look here. Who was that? 2 weeks ago. Yeah, Davis at Portland State. Davis snuck out that one 27-26.
Oh, yeah.
And it was on that crazy, the time was done. I watched the end of that. It was over.
They should not have won that game.
Back on. Yeah. And they shouldn't have won that game. And that's what I'm saying. Portland State's going to be, Davis was favored by 9.5. And freaking, yeah, Portland State, man. Portland State beating the Cats.
Love it. I'm trying to look up some statistics for overall offense, overall defense. Let's see. Wow. So total offense, Miles Hastings is leading that, and then all-purpose yards, Land Larison for UC Davis is leading that.
He's good. Yeah, he's good. He's a good player.
Let's see. Total. Come on. Scoring. Larison's in a lot of these guys. Oh yeah. Scoring touchdowns. Gilman's number 2 on that.
Oh, that's good. He should be.
Hastings is total offensive yards. He's averaging 304 yards a game.
Wow.
Total offensive touchdowns. Tommy Football's up there. Jeez. How many rushing attempts do you think Lan Larison has?
6 games. 80?
No.
160?
142.
Oh my God. I was like, I must be really oh boy. How many is Eli?
Nuts? Eli's at 82 and Osmo's at 80.
That's where I was like, okay, 80 because of that.
Yeah. Osmo's at 83.
It's crazy. Double. Like, so both of them combined. That's wild.
Gilman's averaging 101 yards a game.
That's wild.
Isn't that crazy? Crazy.
I'm trying to find something here that. So, and I can't remember where I saw this. So Sam Herder put out his prediction for like the, if they're going to seed the top 16.
Oh yeah, I had that. We're at like number 13.
Yeah, okay. I couldn't remember. So I know our ranking on media poll and coaches poll, we went up this week. We're at 11 in both.
Yeah.
And I couldn't remember if we were 11 or 13. Yeah, I think we was 13.
Yeah.
That he had this rank there. It's interesting though. If you look at his bracket,
I would like it.
I like it too. We're over there with Mercer and ETSU. I was like, hell yeah, put us over there.
Yeah.
And
we play either Central Arkansas or Villanova.
Yeah, we weren't playing like Murderers Row. It was like, some teams that, I think that we could, have a shot with. So interesting.
Yeah, I liked it because, we scathe NDSU and SDSU.
Yeah.
We don't have to play South Dakota. We don't have to play UC Davis or Montana State.
Yeah.
Again. So it's going to be an opponent that has to kind of we haven't seen or they haven't seen us.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I would love it.
That's the cool thing about this year with them actually seeding 16 teams. Yep. The old days of only seeding was the top 8, and then everybody else after that, it's all Regency bias and stuff. So it's like every year, no matter what, you're playing. The Dakota schools, the Montana schools, no matter how it worked out, we're always playing each other. Like, always.
I don't think
it could not be. It could be opposite. Like we could, obviously they're going to be on the same side as the brackets eventually because you're going to get down to the last, the final 4.
Yeah.
But like, it's definitely going to have more parity this year.
I don't think you're going to. That's not the way that it's going to work out because who they have us ahead. They have Central Arkansas, which they're a good team this year, but they have Idaho ahead of us at 10.
And I think they're going
to keep losing. I think UC Davis is at number 8, and I think if we beat them, I think we'll be ahead of them. Like there's just some teams on here that I think that it's just not going to work out that way.
We need Davis to keep winning until we play them.
Exactly.
Like they just need to keep pulling off W's. So I was kind of, even though Portland State should have beat them. Technically, it felt like I'm glad that Davis won because we need them to keep winning.
Yeah,
that helped us.
Yep. So I'm trying to get to like
as much as I hate it, the Cats beating Idaho helps us too.
Like, it does. We don't even play Idaho.
We could beat them. That would help us.
Yeah. I saw that too, and I was like, I took a picture. I was going to send it to you. So, sorry, I'm trying to get the composite. Oh, here we go. Scoring offense. Who do you think is leading
in scoring offense?
Yep.
Are we?
We're tied with the neighbors.
Oh, okay. I knew it was close because someone else posted some like numbers, and they were like neck and neck.
Yeah, 41.29 average.
Yeah, gotcha.
The best defense is the neighbors.
Okay.
Followed by Northern Arizona, Sac State, UC Davis, Weber State, Idaho, and then we're after Idaho.
Well, that's encouraging that NAU's defense was so high. I mean, that Davis is lower than, that's encouraging, I guess.
Yeah.
Huh.
Scoring defense, Montana State, UC Davis. Total offensive plays, we're number 1. So
it'll be interesting to see, like, if we're still sitting the same going into the brawl this year, or where that's all sitting, because all the then everybody's for real. Like, by the time we get to that, that's why I'm glad it's the last game, because it's like, okay, we all had to play tough teams and all had to do stuff, and now here it is.
Yeah.
So yeah,
all these rushing touchdowns, pass, total offense, it's all either neighbors us or us neighbors. Like it's
that's cool. That's how it should be, I guess, in the Big Sky,
except for rushing defense. We're a little bit farther down.
We're working on that. So work in progress.
Exactly.
Work in progress. We're figuring stuff out. A little more zone. Blitz that quarterback some more. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, anything else? I think, guys, we're gonna go over Northern Colorado next week. So just let you guys know that. That's why we're not going to have as long of a pod as we did last week.
We'll definitely break the film down and do all that for next week. Here, I'm going to run something real quick here. Wait, I just lost it. Okay,
so we did this
South Dakota State at North Dakota State.
Oh,
I'm going to do the verses real quick just to see what that says. And before I do it, who are you taking? Just curious.
Oh, where is it at? Is it at the Fargo now?
It's in Fargo. Yep.
It's in Fargo. I'm going to say SDSU because I think North Dakota State's got some Cam Miller's hurt. I think a lot of their they've got a couple players on the defensive side that are hurt. I'm going to say SDSU.
So I wasn't where people are hurt, but I'm still saying SDSU. I think they're the better team.
Yeah.
And then if watching, I haven't got to watch North Dakota State, but just seeing some of their scores, like they've had a few like, oh boys, and South Dakota State hasn't. Like they've just been killing people. So, all right. So we're both taking South Dakota State. Let's just see what Versus says. Versus says, oh, jeez. Versus is taking North Dakota State 28-24.
Ooh, that's probably just because it's at their house.
It's because they're okay. So let me go back. Yeah. Let me switch it. If for some reason, we'll hypothetically. Okay, yeah. If South Dakota's at home, they have them win 27-25. So let's go back one more time. Let's go neutral location. Let's run the simulation. Neutral location, North Dakota State 26, South Dakota State 25. So it's pretty evenly matched, what they're saying. But it feels like the old Versus app thinks North Dakota State is the victor. But I agree with you. I think South Dakota State's going to pull the W. And
their defense is just way too good. And with Cam Miller, I think he's is having a phenomenal year. But with being hurt, he's going to have to be on his A game.
Yeah.
So
so that's what I'll probably watch because I like watching FCS football. So I'm going to watch the game this weekend. And I was all going to be watching Northern Colorado. That's how I went, oh, they're going to buy too. So I'll watch that Weber game probably this weekend just to see what the hell happened in that game. So,
Weber State threw 5 interceptions.
So why couldn't he do that?
I know, right?
Like, dude, like we kept saying that, like how he gets off and throws the ball. Then he plays us, and the guy's just like freaking Joe Montana out there.
It went from throwing 6 touchdowns to 5 interceptions.
Yeah, it's like what the hell, man?
Like seriously, you couldn't do that against us?
Wild.
Like seriously. Guys, we don't have any questions. Like we were talking before on the pod too, before we got on. We have a lot of questions and a lot of like people like getting at us when we lose.
We lose.
And when it's a win, it's like silent. So even if you guys, we win, you definitely hit us up on questions. So
yeah, absolutely. I may have missed a couple too, but I don't know. Yeah. Thanks. We appreciate everybody listening and stuff. And if you have questions on Northern Colorado, hit us up. Or if you're going to be at Northern Colorado, shoot me a message. We'll hook up, have a frosty beverage together, because they serve in the stadium there too.
Do they really?
Yeah. Last year, I think we ran them out of tap beer. So not last year, 2 years ago, whenever it was. But it's a fun environment because we have our own stands and it's right next to the band, and the band likes to talk crap to our fans, and it's fun to talk crap back and forth to the band. But yeah, it's a good time. So if you are in the area or want to make a fun road trip, come on down, especially since the Alumni Association's throwing that tailgate party
That's
too.
awesome.
That'll be cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, guys, until next week, go Grizz.
Go Grizz.